Right guys, Peter Finch here down at Stockport Golf Club, and today we're going to be doing a slightly different set of videos. I'm going to be doing a 9-hole course vlog, hopefully split into 3 parts. It kind of depends what the weather does. But what I'm going to do is more of a course management vlog. So when I'm doing my coaching videos, when we're playing the course vlogs, it's, you know, instructional, it's entertainment, hopefully. But what I'm going to do today is really talk through shot selection, certain shots which I can't recreate in the academy, so hanging lies and different things like that, and just talk you through them and hopefully have a half decent round. I'm going to be keeping score and my stats all at the same time. Now the first hole here at Stockport, it's a pretty tough one really. What are we on? 463 yards, stroke index 4 here. There's no wind helping, it's raining, it's wet. I'm just painting the picture for a tough tee shot. So I know I need to hit it big, but I also need to start using my course management. So this hole, 460 yards, yes, it goes round to the right hand side. The big thing here though, I can't miss right. Simple as that. If I miss off to the right hand side, I can be in the trees, I can also be blocked out. So my miss here is at the left. So if I miss off to the left hand side, I've still got a chance to get it up and around the green, and it is quite a large green down there as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set myself up more off to the left hand side, try and play a little bit of a fade back into the fairway, hopefully into the middle of the fairway, but I know if I hit a straight shot, then it's going to be going off to the left. The other thing I need to do is I can give it a bit of a wallop. I know it might look a little bit more narrow on the camera than it actually is. It's a relatively wide open area when you aim off to the left hand side. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Guys, comment below, over 9 holes, what's my score going to be as I talk you through all my shots as well. People are going to be thinking I'm mad. I can kind of see some people on the other fairway looking at me a bit weird already. So aiming down the left, I'm going to pick out my target line. I know the shot shape that I want to play. I'm going to be aiming just inside the bunker, which is on that left hand side. Just trying to imagine what that cut will look like. Getting myself set up to that. Yeah, setup feels good. Just hopefully try and execute that shot. And that is pretty much bang on. Fading off that bunker. Yeah, just in the left semi, I think, but certainly a very good tee shot to open this course vlog off. Okay, I'm feeling more positive about this. Hopefully there's no rain on the camera. Right, so after a pretty good drive, I've left myself 200 yards in. I am just in the left-hand semi, but I've got a pretty good look straight down this green. Now, being so far away, and there's relatively little trouble around the green, I can feel I can have a pretty good go at this with a lower lofted iron. So I'm going to hit my 4 iron. I was about to say longer iron then, but I'm playing the 1 length, so it doesn't really make much sense to say that anymore. But I've got a 4 iron. Again, there's very little wind here, so I'm just going to try and fly this straight at it. Now, my miss at this moment in time generally is slightly off to the right hand side. Now, there's no real danger off to the right unless it's a big push there, and I don't really feel at the moment that I'm going to hit it that wildly. So again, I'm just going to take dead aim at the pin, and if I do fade it a little bit, it'll just be on the right hand side of the green. That's the plan anyway. So I'm just going to take my little practice swings. Now at the moment, I'm just trying a couple of things in my backswing, but really my downswing is getting that left hip clearing and just trying to finish a little bit lower around my body. So I'm just going to try and get those feelings, but when I'm on the actual shot, that's what I'm going to execute. So just straight down the pin. I'm not aiming left, I'm not aiming right, I'm just going straight down it. Yeah, setup feels good again. That's aiming right, maybe just slightly on the chunky side. It's a bit of a false front on this green, so the fairway rises up. I can't quite see the front of it. I think I might have just got to the front, but yeah, slightly heavy on that. Should have done more yoga on the first tee. Okay, so I've actually finished just in the semi-rough at the front of the green. I've got a couple of options here, so I can putt, I can chip, I can do a chip and run, I can fly it all the way because I've got a big expanse of green. What I'm actually going to do is, you can't quite see, but there is a bit of a rise at the front of this green. Now what I don't want to do is putt or chip into that, so I've got a gap wedge. I'm going to actually pitch it a little bit more up the green and then let it roll out to the pin. So I'm not going to fly it all the way, but I'm going to take out a lump in the green that could interfere otherwise with a putt or a chip and run. And I'm just going to make it as chip and runny as possible without getting that bank involved. There you go. That's simple enough, isn't it? So I'm going to walk over here. I've got my GoPro with me, so I'll just film my technique from down here. Feels a bit weird talking to you, still knowing you can hear me in my mic. It's a wonderful thing, technology, I have to say. Right, let's set that up. So yeah, I'm just going to take out this middle bit of the green. I'm just going to pitch it over that. So I'm probably going to be pitching it about maybe 30% of the way to the hole. There's not a massive amount of slope in this green. It should move very slightly off to the left hand side, but with the wetness of the green, and generally not because it's just not got that big of a slope, I can go pretty straight. So I've picked my landing point where I want it to pitch. I'm just going to hit it there. Because of the loft of the club, it should release out. I played that pretty much bang on. Break in, break in. Yeah, very, very happy with that. It's just that thing where you probably won't be able to see it on the GoPro, but that's that little bit of a rise in there. So with something like this, I mean, I had the options there of playing that many different ways, and I just chose the one that felt the most comfortable to me. I'm pretty happy with my short game at the moment. These greens look like they're going to be running lovely as well, so I can't wait for hopefully some birdie putts. But that was all about just the right shot selection for me, taking out the possibility of trouble in the middle with that bank and hitting a good shot. I'm gonna give myself that, guys. I think I'll get that. Right guys, second hole here, and it's a cracking hole this. It makes you think a little bit because it's only 340 yards. You can bomb a driver up there, get it as close as the green as possible, or you can lay up short of the bunkers. So it gives you lots of different options. The further you drive it down there, the tighter it becomes. Now because it's only a short distance and because the pin is tucked tight and off to the left hand side, I'm actually going to be laying up a little bit here. So I'm not going to be going with the driver, which goes against my normal YouTube rules, I know, but it's just what I've got to do. Now, to hit the first bunker is 208 yards, 212 yards from this tee, and to get to the second one, it's 240 yards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 3 iron, but it's cranked down, it's a changeable Cobra driving iron, so it's down to 18 degrees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim it at the left bunker with a cut. Now if I do that and it goes straight, I really shouldn't be hitting this 240 yards. So if it goes in, it's a little bit unlucky. But if it does cut back, it should be long enough to get over that bunker on the right hand side. If I hit a driver down there, then it brings in the trees a little bit more. It's a little bit tighter and it offers other problems. So I'm going to try and lay up a little bit, be a bit safer by just hitting my driving iron. We will see if this is ultimately a wise choice. I think I should be okay. So this is not one of the one length ones. So like I said, this is a Cobra driving iron down to 19. So I'm going to be aiming at that left bunker. Again, just trying to cut it back into the fairway. Feeling pretty confident after that first tee shot as well. It's quite a nice line actually. I can aim just left of the pin. So that's my line. And then just allow it to drift back. So yeah, alignment there feels good again. I'll tell you what, that's 2 very good tee shots in a row there. I think what I actually might start doing, I hope this won't annoy too many of you, is just start talking through all my shots on the course vlogs. I mean, admittedly, 9 holes would take 4 hours, but I play all right. I do this in open qualifying. Annoy the hell out of everyone. Right guys, pretty happy with my tee shot actually. Hit it pretty much exactly where I wanted to. The only slight change that I might have made is level with the back of the bunker on the right hand side. It's short of the bunker on the left, which I wanted, but I'm just a little bit unsure if I would have pushed it a bit more, it could have ended up in the bunker and left myself a much more difficult approach. But there's no real such thing as a totally safe shot in golf. I could have laid back a little bit more with the 4-iron, but I've put myself in a very, very good position now. 115 yards left in. I could really hit a full gap wedge, but with the greens being soft, I want a little bit more control of the spin. I'm just going to fly it in a slightly lower pitching wedge. I'm really just going to go straight for this. It's on the left-hand side of the green, so if I pulled it a little bit, it could just be off the left, but I want to go for it. You know, I want that birdie. I don't want to be playing safe. Not on this shot, anyway. So, little pitching wedge. Ball pretty much in the middle of my stance. I'm just going to put a slightly little bit more weight on my left side. So a slightly shorter swing, that's looking very good. Slightly to the right of the pin. Oh, distance wise looks pretty good. Maybe slightly beyond, but yeah, pretty happy with that. Probably about a 12-15 foot. So left myself a pretty good birdie putt here. I actually finished slightly short of the hole rather than after the hole. Might need to get my eyesight checked again, but this green does slope a little bit, so it looks like I've got a little bit of contour to actually get across. Now, to read the greens, I'm using Aim Point Express at the moment, so I won't go into too much detail about what this involves, but it's about trying to read the slope a little bit more with the feet, with the body, trying to feel how the contours actually work. Now, I think this is going to slope slightly off to the left hand side, so I'm going to take my alignment. It's just going to be outside the right, I feel. The only difference and the only question they've got to be asking yourself when it is wet like this is what's going to happen to the break because of the rain. But I think the slope is good enough, and these greens look like they are good enough as well. Slope good enough to actually bring the ball back. So I'm aiming just outside the right, about, I'd probably say a cup, and I'm trusting that the slope brings it back. So for a birdie, get myself to 1. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I really did like the look of that one. So that for me, yeah, honestly, I think I might start talking all the way through me vlogs. 1 under. Right, third hole, and how amazing does this look? I have to say, because it's so still and because it's all green, you know, summer's almost here, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, sorry, apart from that, it's 370 yards from the back tees, but it goes up and around to the left hand side. Now the green is over in that direction there, and it ain't going to be hittable even if I absolutely cream a driver, because all the danger is off to the left hand side. So we're with a big dog leg. The trees at the back are 280 yards, but the rough actually cuts in a bit to about 250. Now if I nail a 3-wood, I'm going to be in the semi or in the rough if I really catch one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my driving iron again, pretty much straight down this alleyway as hard as I want, because I know even if I rip one, it's not going to get to the rough, and it's only going to lead me a wedge into the green. So this hole really does make my mind up for me in many ways about what I'm going to do. And certainly I've played here a couple of times now, so I've got a little bit more of a feeling of what I want to do on it. So I've got this line straight down the middle of the tee, which I can line up over, which is always nice as well. Thank you, Mr. Greenkeeper. Ball position forward of centre. Oh yeah, I feel good on this one. Yeah, struck it well. Bit more fade than I wanted. Hang on there. Yeah, so it's on the right hand side of the fairway. You can aim, and I could have aimed probably more further left, so the further you hit it up the left hand side, the shorter distance you're going to have in, but I'm still only going to be having a wedge from there anyway, so yeah, in good position still. And the gloom is starting to lift a little bit. It's actually feeling quite warm now. Hopefully I won't have to put that waterproof top back on. As nice as it is, it's much nicer to play without any waterproofs on. Anyway, so I've got 137 yards left up the hill. Now, normally this would be a wedge, but because this part of the fairway is actually a little bit wet, because it's uphill a little bit, I'm just going to hit a nice smooth 9-9. I don't want to feel like I have to hit a wedge hard. I don't want to have to try and force it. Like I said, I feel at the moment, with the changes that I'm making to my swing, I feel comfortable playing a little bit more of a controlled shot or with a controlled swing. So I'm going to be aiming again pretty much straight at the hole. Flag looks like it's dead center. There's bunker left. There's a big rise up to the green, but I think it's just a nice smooth 9-9 straight down the pin. Should do the trick. If it fades slightly off to the right hand side, then that won't be the end of the world. It'll still only be right side of the green. It's clean, that one. Go on, go, go, go. That's actually taken a really nice kick. It was a bit of a pulley clean one, but it faded back round and it actually kicked to the right a little bit. I think the wetness of the surface maybe got in my head a little bit there. I just wanted to ensure that I hit it cleanly, but it's a good bad one. I think if you are looking, guys, to hit a bad shot, I always say to most of my lessons, if your bad shot is a thin, that's a hell of a lot better than a bad shot being a fat, because if you do get a semi-thin like that, it could turn into a good shot. And I reckon I might have a decent chance for a birdie there. We'll have to wait and see. It's a big green, this one. So all depends on that bounce. So I did get quite lucky with that approach shot. It's pitched about 20 foot back and it's actually just skidded and skimmed up, and it's left me. It's not an easy putt, but it's certainly definitely a makeable one. Looks like it's going to be sloping slightly down and to the right, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. I don't think this is going to be outside the hole, so I'm going to aim this just at the left-hand edge. Now, something what quite a few people ask me on my putting is if I plumb bob, because when I get in this position, I hold my putter up like this. That's not plumb bobbing. I'm just making sure that the alignment on the ball, so I use the logo of the ball to line my putter up, is actually along the line that I want it to go. Simple as that. So it's not about plumb bobbing, it's just making sure that my ball is lined up correctly. I don't take any practice swings, so I just get on with my putt and I try to hole it. I trust myself, I trust the pace that I have on the greens, and because I feel that my alignment's good, I don't really need to faff around, to be honest. So I'm in there. I know that my ball's lined up correctly to where I want it to go. I just make sure that my posture is where I want it to be as well. One last look at the hole, and just let it go. Oh, older. Just slightly right. I don't think I quite set that off online. Moved slightly off to the right, but I think I set it off just a little bit straight. But 1 under for those 3 holes. That's not too bad. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to move now on to the 4th, which is a tricky par 4. Then I've got a par 3, and then I've got a par 5. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment below if you'd like to see more of these videos. I'm more than happy to get them done. I'm seemed to be lucky with the weather. Sky looks beautiful over there as well. I'll see you down here next time. Thank you so much to Stockport as well for letting me come down here. And the course looks beautiful. Beautiful summer course here. See you next time.